Happy Tuesday, everyone. I'm Kelly Manzone. Thank you for joining me for today's class. We are going to be focusing on the arm lines. Last week I taught 2 classes and I accidentally read the email wrong, so the topic was incorrect. So today's is correct. We're going to need the stick mobility bundle. So the 2 long sticks and 1 short stick. And once again, if you don't own stick mobility, that's okay. You could use whatever you have access to, a PVC pipe, wooden dowel, a broom. We're also going to need a towel folded up or a pillow because later in class we're going to be doing a prone shoulder press and we need access to a side wall. Getting started, we're just going to warm up and mobilize our body first with bow and arrow. So we're going to take the stick to the outside of our right foot. The camera flips me, so even though this is my left side, I'm going to call it my right so that you can mirror me and follow along. Your bottom hand is going to go towards the sticker, top left hand, palm facing forward with the thumb down. Now, I want you to grip the ground with your feet. If you can, try to be barefoot so you could really feel the connection throughout class, or at least wear a minimalist shoe. And in your bow and arrow, oftentimes people press out with the arms first. We want to connect with the feet first, grip the ground, squeeze the glutes, and we're going to press out our hips to the left first, then press out in the opposite direction with the arms. Now that top left arm, you could get a little bit of leverage drawing back into that lat. Hold here, and we're simply going to floss. So as we're working into our arm lines, we're just going to ease into our workout by mobilizing our lateral lines too. So we have 2 more. You're taking the stick forward onto the sagittal plane and then out onto the frontal plane to the side. Hold here. Now, take that inside shoulder, make sure it's down away from your ear. Take a moment, angle, look upward towards the ceiling, and then slowly come out of your bow and arrow. Taking the stick now to the right, to the left, right hand, palm facing forward, bottom left hand at the sticker. Pressing out first with the hips, second, the upper body. Pause here, and you're putting tension down into the floor, maybe about 20-30%, and you're going to keep the chest still. So oftentimes people will floss and move their their hips and their chest forward. I want you to keep the body still and just move the arms. So let's do 2 more here. Excellent. 1 more. Hold. Now drop that inside shoulder, angle, look upward towards the ceiling, and then slowly come out of your bow and arrow. Taking the stick forward, you're going to center it, left hand on top, so your left palm is going to face outward. Bottom right hand is going to come across to where that sticker is. We're going to hip hinge forward and do a little bit of like a lateral bow and arrow. So this right hand is going to come across, and I'm going to drive that arm across my midline, and then that top left arm, I'm going to pull, pack that shoulder, engage that lat. In the hip hinge, your knees are soft. Try not to shift your hips too much. Try to keep your hips nice and centered. From here, pushing down into the stick, you're going to come forward, just a little bit of flossing. So not as big of a movement as we had in our standing bow and arrow. Hold here. Take a moment and dip that right shoulder down towards your right foot. Angle, look up towards your left, and then slowly come out of the stretch. Transition over to the other side, right hand on top. That left arm is going to drive and press across the midline of the body as you're hip hinging. So we're gripping the ground with our feet. Begin to hip hinge forward, soften into the knees, press that left arm across, pack that right shoulder and activate that lat. Hold, and don't forget to breathe. Then pushing down into the stick, just a couple of inches, a little bit of flossing, going forward a little bit on a diagonal, and then back out onto the frontal plane to the side. Let's do 1 more here. Now we're going to hold our position, and this left shoulder now is going to dip slightly down towards that left foot. Angle and look up towards your right. Hold, and now slowly come to stand. Take a moment, shake out your shoulders. Now we're gonna work into a hip hinge here, going into a stretch into our IT band, but we're gonna open up our front line. So taking the stick over to your left, your right foot is gonna cross over the left. Holding up high on your stick, take a moment, feel the connection with your feet. So you're gripping the ground with the feet. I'm gonna send the hips back, so hip hinging forward, and allow the chest to slowly lower. You're gonna draw the stick in close to your body. So it's a nice stretch down the forearm, into the bicep, into the pec, into the shoulder girdle, and then your right hand is just gonna reach down. Knees are soft, and again, drawing the hips back. Take a moment, slowly drive up through the feet, and we're gonna switch over to the other side. Left leg crossing over the right. Get your balance, so feel the connection with your feet, holding up high in the stick, and then as you're lowering, your palm could slide down a little bit. And pause here, hold. Draw the stick in close to your body. Take a moment, release kind of any tension that you're holding in your neck. Drive into the feet, and slowly come to stand. Speaking of our feet, even though we're focusing on our arm lines today, we are going to mobilize our feet because we're going to be doing a couple of lunge variations. I'm going to go on a diagonal here, and we're going into our horse stance. Your horse stance is a little bit wider than hip width. Take a moment, soften into the knees, scoop that tailbone under. You're going to take your right hand on top, left hand on the bottom, angling the stick inward towards you. Pack those shoulders. Outside right heel, you're going to releve, draw that heel up, and then gently lower. Take a moment, really spread out the toes, work into the pad of your foot, stretching out the fascia all the way up the calf and over to the other side. Proud chest again. You're breathing, driving down into the floor with the stick, about 20-30% tension just so you could maintain some stability. Now we're going to go back over to our right side. From here, the movement is going to come from the foot and ankle, not the knee and the hip. You're going to simply grip the ground with the toes, ball the foot, take the heel out and ankle out, and then inward. So we'll go face on right now, a little out, in. Now I'm going to go back to that diagonal position here. Good. Let's do one more. Release, left releve, tailbone under. Remember, movement is from the foot angle. So oftentimes it's easy to compensate by moving from the knee or the hip. Again, we want to focus on the foot. Let's do two more. Good. One more. Come center and release. You're going to take your long stick down, grab your short stick, and if you don't have a shorter stick, you could modify with a longer stick. Instead of the palms being on the outside, you could simply have an underhand, an overhand hold on the stick, depending on which movement we're doing. Now, going into some circles, we're going to have overhand hold on the stick, and I know the camera's going to flip me, so I'm going to say the left arm is going to bend, that right arm is going to elevate. You're going to slide the stick behind, and now that right arm comes forward and over. So we're going left arm elevates first, right, and then up and over to the left. Try if you can to maintain your horse stance throughout. Focus on your breathing. Chin is neutral, rib cage is closed, so we're not having a lot of rib flare. And notice if you're dropping your chin to your chest, right? So as we're working in through those arm lines, we're going to mobilize our neck too, and that should help to free up the shoulders in our arm lines. Let's do one more in this direction. Then we're going to park it on that left side. Now we reverse, right side leads. Excellent. And I'm not really applying any pressure to the stick right now. My grip is nice and relaxed. Let's do a few more before we add on. In a moment, we're going to add in a couple of lunges, so just make sure that you have some space And let's do 2 more. Good. 1 more. And release. Slowly pull apart on the stick. Elevate your arms up overhead. Chin is neutral. We're going to create some tension. So I want you to crush the stick, pack the shoulder, activate, right? So in this position here, make sure you don't have a huge anterior tilt. Light up the front of the body too. Now pull apart. Pull, squeeze, chin neutral, and crush the stick. Push into the stick. Hold. Stay with it, and pull apart. Activate. Pull apart with 70% of your strength. We've got 1 more. Crush the stick, push into the stick. Last 4 counts. Hold 1, 2, 3, on 4. Keep the squeeze, crush that stick, and gently lower. Going into pendulum. So now you're going to take your hands and cup the outside of the stick. Then take your horse stance and pendulum up towards your left. So the bicep is in line with the ear. I love using this as a primer for any overhead training, especially kettlebells and barbell. This bottom hand is going to create a little bit of tension. So it's going to push up. Again, bicep in line with the ear. Up and over to your right side. Good. Switch back over to the left. And then up and over to your right. Adding on, as we go to the left, we're going to do a little lateral movement, drawing that right leg back, and then up and over to the right. Adding just a little bit of rotation. Again, push up into the stick, get into that arm line. Adding a little bit of a stability challenge as you're taking that leg across on a diagonal. Now my back leg is straight, so I'm not going into a deep curtsy lunge here, or a lateral lunge. Hold. Let's do 2 more. Rotate, drop into the stick, and switch up and over, other side. Coming center, park the stick onto your left hip. So we're going to go into some kayaking forward. 30% tension. Focus on your breathing throughout class. Kind of take some notes of where you're feeling a little sticky. And we're going to add in a lunge. So it's going to go 1, 2. Now on 3, I'm going to take a reverse lunge. Draw that right hand across over that left thigh. Step out of it. 1, 2. Now on 3, right leg goes back. Good. 1, 2. On 3, left leg back. 1, 2, 3. I mean left leg here. Apologies. 1, 2. Right leg back. 1, 2. On 3, left leg back. 1 more. 1, 2. On 3, right leg back. And as you come out of it, it's going to park onto your right hip. We're going to do the same thing now, kayaking backwards. If you need to give your arms a break, shake out your arms for a moment. Starting stationary, up and back. So oftentimes this one people get a little confused. You're going to push up with that right hand. The arm is going to lift up and back, then down on that left side, and then you repeat on your right side. So take your time, get into the groove first. 30% tension on the stick, and we're going to add a reverse lunge here too. Begin on 1, 2. Now on 3, right leg back. Good. 1, 2. On 3, right leg back. 1, 2. On 3, right leg back. Now, back to stationary, and then we're going to repeat. 1, 1, 2, left leg back. 1, 2, left leg back. Good. 1, 2, left leg back. Just a few more. 1, 2, on 3, left leg back. Let's do 2 more. Good. And we got one more. And release. Excellent. Take a moment to shake your arms out. We're going to be coming down to the ground now, going into our prone shoulder press. So if you have your pillow or towel nearby, please grab it now. And when I'm walking you through this, I'm going to kind of keep my head a little elevated off the ground so I can talk to the camera. After I demonstrate, you could keep your forehead down on top of the pillow or the towel so that you can maintain your alignment. I'm going to perform this on a diagonal. So I'm going to come down. I got the towel there. Going to get the hair out of the way. Come to your belly. Create a V with your legs. So I want you to be able to take your pelvis, slight tuck, your hip bones are going to press down into the floor. So that will help with our alignment with our lumbar spine. Make sure you have some space. I'm a little crowded in here. Okay, so you have your towel or pillow in front. You're only going to lift your arms to what you can sustain. I have excessive range of motion, and it's like, I realize that sometimes I go up too high, so I'm going to be mindful of that as I'm walking you through this. Take your forehead down to your towel. Your arms are extended with your short stick in front. Before we even move, draw in your navel, a slight tuck of that tailbone, your hip bones are going to press down into the floor. From here, you're going to pull apart on the stick, flat wrist. Now, again, I'm talking, so I'm elevating my head. Your head should be down. You're going to pull apart on the stick, lift the arms, and then draw back like a pull down. Pause for a moment. Feel that connection mid-trap, right between your shoulder blades. And then as the stick is coming forward, you're going to push into the stick, crush the stick, and then gently lower the arms to start over. So now the next one, as I get you started, I'm going to perform with my head down, just in case you're watching this back. So everybody get into your position. Slight scoop of the tuck of the tailbone, forehead on your towel or pillow, arms extended, pull apart on your stick, elevate your arms, squeeze, pull apart, draw back. Brief pause, so those elbows are bent, maintain that height, come forward, squeeze into the stick, and gently lower. So there's also a great partner stretch for this, where you could use your two long sticks. Have a friend, put the sticks on the shoulders, like creating those train tracks, and they could slide up and back using the sticks for assistance. That's a great drill too. So let's do 4 more here. You're going to pull apart, activate, elevate the arms, draw back, squeeze. Make sure you're not holding your breath. When you're ready, begin to draw forward, push into the stick, and gently lower. Let's do 3 more. Pull apart on the stick, elevate the arms, draw back, working in that prone position, into our shoulder press, squeeze the stick, and gently lower. 1 more. Here we go. Squeeze your glutes, draw your navel in, pull apart, elevate, draw back, brief pause, take the stick forward, push into the stick, and then gently lower. Well done. So take a moment, take those hands in, towel and pillow to the side. Going to get into a little bit of core work here before we continue on with our upper body. We're going to come down for a set of dead bugs, but we're going to first kind of warm up and irrigate the fascia, get everything ready. So we're going to bend our knees, lift the heels so they're right in line with the knees. You could elevate your head or keep your head down. Simple, basic hold. I've got my timer over there. We're going to do this for 10 seconds. So even before you start, again, you have that slight tuck, tailbone pressed down, rib cage closed. Option to keep your head up or down, knees bent. Now you're pushing the thighs forward into the stick, and then take your arms and push your arms forward into the stick, pressing into the thighs. Hold here. So here we go. We have a 10-second hold. Breathe. So the more tension you create, the harder this will be. If you start to feel it in your back, you could stop for a moment. You might have to reset. You could also perform this with one heel down. We have 5 seconds left. Right? Get that shake on. Light everything up. If your head is elevated, make sure there's not tension in your neck. And gently release. Take a moment. Knees are going to shift over to one side. Eyes in the opposite direction. Adding on with our dead bug, we're going to do an alternating, so 3 on each leg for a total of 6 reps. Head could be up or down. Excuse me. Stick mid-thigh. Find that length through your back. Turn, core on. Elevate those legs. Take a moment, your choice, head up or down. Then you're going to drive forward through that right heel. Inhale, exhale, and then draw it back in. Left leg lowers, extend, draw in. Now, the lower back is staying connected, right? The harder you push that thigh forward and press the arms forward, the more challenging this will be. You could also play with tempo where you go really slow. Breathe, stay with it. We got one more. Drive down through that left leg and take it back in. Nicely done. Release. Again, knees to one side, eyes to the opposite direction. We're going to do one more set of 6, and then we're getting back to our upper body. So find length through the spine. Elevate those knees. Find your alignment. Right leg lowers. Inhale, exhale, sweep, draw that knee in. So your choice. This could be quite challenging, right? The more that you push, and again, maintain alignment, don't hold your breath. We got one more on each side, nice and controlled, in slow. One more. Take it in, good. And release. You don't need many for it to be effective, that is for sure. Coming up slowly, if you need some water, please grab it now. We're going to take our long sticks now, leverage them against the wall to work into our tricep. Our core has been all lit up since we did our dead bugs, so you should feel that connection through your anterior while we're performing this exercise. So the sticks, I got a little towel here so I could maintain alignment. I'm going to come in a little bit instead of holding on the edge, so you don't need to be far out from the wall. Now, you're on your knees. I like to kind of take my big toes so they draw in towards one another. Be mindful that when we're performing our tricep extension here, you're not sending the hips back. So we want to stay connected. It's like essentially like a moving plank with the trunk of the body. Now, hands are slightly higher than shoulder width. You may need to adjust a couple of times to find the right spot. Scoop the tailbone under, pack your shoulders. You should feel your lats light up. Then you're going to actually have to slide my hands down just a little. So you're going to light up those lats. Then you're going to bend the elbows, hinge forward, inhale, exhale, draw back to start. So we're going to do a set of 6. Take a second, find your setup. Take that tailbone under, light up your front line, and then pack those shoulders, engage your lats. Going to hinge forward as you bend the elbows, length through the neck. Inhale, exhale, draw back to start. Now you're pushing into the sticks the entire time. Inhale, exhale, back to start. We have 4 more. To create a little bit of tension and to create stability. And press back. We have 3 more. Squeeze the glutes, length through the spine, chin neutral, inhale, exhale, draw back to start. 2 more. Hinge, breathe. Stay with it, and nice Let's do one more. Keep that tailbone under. Hinge. Inhale, exhale. Press back. Nice work. Now we're going to simply release the sticks, come to stand, and we're going to turn around to get into some lat work. I'm going to add in a hip hinge. So we're going to light up the posterior line. I'll demonstrate first. So you're turning away from the leverage of the wall, and arms are going to be lengthened. Feet are just about hip width apart. Now I'm going to push back into the wall as I hip hinge. So hip hinge here, driving energy back, maybe about 60-70%. Keeping that tension, I'm going to row. Elbows come in, shoulders down and back. Length through the spine, chest stays open, and then lengthen. Come to stand, squeeze. Working that hip hinge. 70% is your strength. Draw back, push into that wall. Inhale, exhale, row. Pull, chin neutral. Lengthen, drive up. We've got 4 more. Hip hinge, lift the belly, row. Keep that tension in both directions. Drive up to stand. Good. Hip hinge. I like to perform these too before I do some barbell deadlifts. And drive up. 2 more. Hinge forward. Now really squeeze. I want you shaking. Work hard for the last 2. Stay in tension. We're going to go a little bit slower. Grip the ground with the feet. Drive up. 1 more. Push back into that wall. Now hold here. We're going to go slow on this last one. 4 count. Pull. 1, 2, 3. Now hold for 4. Hold 1. Keep that tension. Keep pushing. 2, 3. On 4. Lengthen. Slow. Keep pushing. 1, 2, 3. Hold 4. Inhale. Exhale. Drive up. Well done. So we're going to take our sticks now away from the wall and getting into a little bit of our stretching. I just want to check my class that I wrote down here. Oh, I got it. We're going back to our short stick for a moment. So way back when I first learned stick mobility, I was doing kettlebell sport at the time, and I swing a lot of clubs. These articulations for building wrist mobility and strength through the forearm and strengthening the arm lines was monumental while I was in the sport. And I just want to do a couple of these today since we are focusing on our arm lines. Now, going into your horse stance, your short stick is going to be in your left hand. So I want you to extend your left arm forward, pack that shoulder, engage that lat. And this one I just love. We're going to be like a little hammerhead shark. So you're getting some wrist work here, strengthening through the forearm, down, keep that connection through the shoulder pack and the lat. Maintain that height. Maintain that length through the arm. It's amazing how fatiguing that whole series can get. Now, pause. We're going to rotate the palms up, or palm up, I should say. Rotate it down. Stay connected. Good. Rotate, palm up. Breathe. Shoulders stay down and back. Rotate the palm down. 1 more. Rotate, palm up. Squeeze. Rotate, palm down. Now, going into kind of casting for fish. If you fished in the past, we're going to cast forward and then come neutral. Cast, come neutral. Again, still working that left side. And this is just a few in this series. Cast forward, back to neutral. Let's do 3 more. Cast, back to neutral. Cast, back to neutral. Our having a strong arm line and relax is definitely connected to having strong hands, strong grip, and wrists. carries over into better performance. So now we are going to go over to our right set, starting with that little hammer shark. So right arm extended, pack that shoulder, engage that lat, grip the ground with your feet, maintain your horse stance. Now, this side is my less dominant arm. I'm curious if you feel like it's a little harder or slightly more awkward on your less dominant side too. Yep. So try not to compensate. Maintain that length. Work with the wrists. Good. Let's do 4 more. 1, 2, 3, 4. Come neutral. Rotate nice and slow. Palm up. Again, keep that connection. Rotate, palm down. Good. Rotate, palm up. There it is. Rotate, palm down. We got 1 more here. Rotate, palm up. Pause for a moment. Keep that tension. Rotate the palm slowly down. Come neutral. Cast. Back to center. Cast. So on that cast, right, you go almost from a hammer grip to a saber grip. Good. Let's do a few more. 2 more. Excellent. Last one. And recover. When you take your arm down, it's like, woo, everything's awake. Now, I did mention that we were going to mobilize our necks. So before we get down to the ground for a knee down lunge, we're going to go through a series of gentle stretches. So taking your stick to the upper mid back, take your palms right to your stomach. Right, let them rest on your belly. Slide your shoulders down, and then we're simply going to drop our chin to the chest, like we've dropped something on our shirt. And then eyes leading the head, slowly look upward towards the ceiling. And then again, gently, eyes leading the head, look down. Focus on your breathing. And nice and slow, angle, look upward towards the ceiling. We got 1 more here. Down to the floor, upward towards the ceiling, come neutral, and then we're going to circle 3 in each direction. So we're going to drop, eyes leading the head to the left, pass through center, slowly up and around. Notice if you begin to compensate. So sometimes people will start to shrug the shoulders upward. We want to avoid that. Now, take a moment, come neutral. Catch your breath, other side. Dip down towards the right, and then up towards your left and through center. Good. Sometimes I like doing these towards the end of a workout, once my body's nice and warm. Good. And come neutral. Excellent. Short stick down, please. Long stick. Now, we could have used the short stick for the tricep stretch, but that's okay. So taking your stick, left hand is going to hold on. You're going to drop the hand to the base of your neck. Right hand is going to come behind, grab the stick, add a little leverage, pull down. Now, this left elbow is going to point upward towards the ceiling, like a bullhorn. From here, you're going to take your knuckles of the right hand and come across. Angle, look upward towards the ceiling, and then come neutral. Hold once again, and then angle, look upward. Take a moment, come through center, release the right hand. So now right hand is on the base of the neck. Take a moment to shake out the left hand. So you can see this from behind. The right hand is at the base of the neck. This is also a really good stretch for the opposing side. So even though we're focusing on that right tricep, we're getting a nice stretch through that left side too. And again, angle. So instead of that elbow folding forward, try to press that elbow back. And then come neutral. Good. Let's do one more. Hold here. Focus on your breath, so make sure you're not holding your breath. And gently come out of the stretch. Release that right hand and allow that right arm to come across. Take a moment, shake it out. Okay, going to 2 sticks now. We're going to angle our sticks inward towards us. I'm going to go on a diagonal here, and we're going to get into a nice lat stretch. So you're just going to hip hinge, drop the belly, press down into the floor, maybe about 20-30% tension. And I like to kind of corkscrew my knuckles forward just a little bit to get a deeper stretch. Breathe into it, hold. Take a moment, inhale, exhale, push into the feet. You could round your spine as you come up, and then drop those shoulders down. We're gonna do one more here. So arms are a little bit lower than shoulder height. Pushing down into the sticks, begin a slow hip hinge, soft knees. When you're here, just kind of let your body hang for a moment, and then corkscrew those knuckles forward just a tiny bit. I love that feeling because I could get a little bit deeper into the shoulder girdle when I do that. But if it's too much, then just simply keep it neutral. Hold, and slowly push into the feet. Round your spine, and come to stand. Good. Taking the sticks now into the inside arch of both feet. We're going to take both arms across to the right side. Hip hinging forward so that the chin clears far over the bicep. And then I really want you to leverage with that left arm. Dip that left shoulder down towards the foot. So this is similar to what we did at the start of class. Hold here. Have length through the spine. Breathe. You could even do a few neck articulations if you'd like. And then slowly come to stand. Now, we're going to do one more on this side. Instead of the left arm coming across, we're going to take that arm and extend it out on a diagonal. So, right arm is going to be directly out to our side. Left arm is going to be forward on a diagonal. Hips, again, are going to stay centered, and then simply reach forward. Again, leverage that left stick down into the floor, hold and breathe. Now, if you'd like, you could even do a gentle shift here into the left knee, and slowly come upright. Coming across over to our right side. Now, instead of being on a diagonal, we're coming all the way across. Hip hinge. So that chin, again, clears over the bicep. Keeping the knees soft. Dip that right shoulder down. Hold. And again, if you'd like, you could just do a few neck articulations. Feels so good. Kind of flossing behind the shoulder blade. And then slowly come out of it. Left arm directly to your side. As you hinge, extend that right arm forward. So try not to collapse down into the stretch. Try to maintain some length and leverage with that right side. Hold here. You can move your neck a little bit. Breathe. Excellent. And then you can do a gentle shift into your right knee, pulling the body weight back rather than forward. And slowly come upright. Well done. Now we're going to go into a knee down lunge to finish on each side. I'm going to step my left foot forward first. If you need that towel, you could put it below your right knee. Your sticks now are going to be right in line with your hips. Scoop your tailbone under, and I want you to feel like you're almost getting a little bit of traction with that upper body. So we are focusing on that right hip flexor, but we're also going to work into our upper body here. So you're holding up nice and high, chin is neutral, no straining in your neck, scooping tailbone under, and then rotate into that open hip just a little bit, and then rotate inward. Good. Now we're going to slide the hands down, almost in line with the shoulder, maybe a little bit higher. Rotate, going deeper now into that front leg so that you're focusing on your back right hip. Right hold, and then come through center. Pull back for a moment. Take a deep breath. Inhale, exhale. Proud chest. As you rotate, you're looking back at your left hand now. Still focusing on that right hip. So we're getting a little bit of T-spine here as we're winding down from our workout. Take a moment, come to stand, and we're going to switch sides. So our right leg is going to be forward now, left leg back. Sticks right in line with the hips. Scoop your tailbone under, push down into the sticks. So activate, small rotation first. Be mindful that your hips aren't sinking out to the side. So we're maintaining our alignment and you're breathing throughout the exercise. Rotate into the open hip. Good. From here, slide your hands down. Angle, look back at your right arm. Again, proud chest. You could bend deeper into that front right knee. So we're feeling a deeper stretch into the left hip. Coming through center. I'm going to slide my hand down just a little bit. Looking back at your left hand, let's hold 4 counts. Hold 1, hold 2, hold 3, on 4, come through center, slide your right foot in, and come to stand. Thank you so much for joining me for today's class. Again, I'm Kelly Manzone. You can find me on Instagram at KelsBells88. And this class will be uploaded to the YouTube channel later today, where you could catch a lot of the episodes of the Movement Made Better podcast, which you can listen to on Spotify or Apple. And the YouTube channel also has a massive library of tutorials. I'll see you next Tuesday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm always open for feedback, so if you have any feedback and or questions, please feel free to reach out to me directly or to Stick Mobility. I'll see you next week. Take care.